performance of his 3-year career from Cincinnati, Ohio, Brian Himmler. Our 4th-seeded bowler captured his 15th title just 4 weeks ago in Detroit, Michigan. His home is Atlanta, Georgia, and in 1994 he became a member of the PBA's Hall of Fame, Brian Voss. You saw this PBA Hall of Famer capture his 11th title last week in Richmond, Virginia. Tonight, he's trying to become only the 2nd player this year to win back-to-back titles from Vidor, Texas, David Ozio. Our 2nd-seeded player is making his first PBA telecast since 1989. He's a 5-time champion and the PBA's Iron Man, having competed in 741 tournaments in his 28-year career from Vancouver, USA, Ernie Schlegel. Our final player is undefeated from the top-seeded position. Tonight, he's trying to win the 2nd major of his career and 12th PBA title from Hollywood, Florida, Randy Pedersen. And there you have it, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Those are your 5 finalists for tonight's Bear Brunswick Touring Players Championship. And now let's go up to PBA Hall of Famers Mike Durbin and Earl Anthony.
Thank you, Bobby. Earl, everybody's into it. It's another arena finals. They're ready. We've got a great cast here tonight.
We do. We've got, as Bobby mentioned, a Hall of Famer in the 4th position in Brian Voss, a Hall of Famer in the 3rd position in David Ozio, and a tournament leader that has never lost from the #1 position in Randy Pedersen. This guy's 5-0 from up there, so we've got 3 really outstanding, talented players right there.
And the other 2 players on our telecast tonight really take opposite ends of the experience spectrum.
Hey, they do, Mike, and they're both very dangerous. The guy in the #2 seed, this guy, you never know what he's going to do. He's a very aggressive player, Ernie Schlegel. He's 52 years old. This could be his last chance to win, and he knows that. So he's going to give it everything he has tonight.
And the newcomer to our telecast?
Brian Himmler, a rookie. He showed what he's made of last night in the position round when he beat a really, really tough player, Bob Learn Jr., 248 to 194, just to get to the telecast. So he's not afraid of these guys, and he thinks he can win, and he is dangerous.
And he's only 22 years old. Our opening match, a battle of Bryans. As the newcomer, Brian Himmler takes on PBA Hall of Famer Brian Voss. Well, we're using lanes 3 and 4 for our championship round tonight here at the Robert Morris Center.
Well, Brian Voss had the choice of starting lanes, and he's decided to make a rookie start.
Well, he didn't do that once in the whole practice session, Earl. It just shows you, you turn the lights on, and it's a little bit different.
Well, here's experience. The factor, I think, that, and what Brian Voss is doing here is he's making the rookie throw the first ball in front of this huge crowd on national television, his first try on national television, and that's a lot of pressure for the kid. And he's starting the match. Now, Voss also, because he's making him start, makes him finish last. So if Brian gets a pretty good score, the kid has to double an attempt. He's got his hands full.
Well, he gave it a good shot there. Open in the first frame, not converting the 2-4-10.
Well, we'll see if Brian will take advantage of that. He's feeling it a little bit, too. All players feel it. They get the adrenaline going. The first couple of shots are always the toughest.
So they throw it a little harder than usually?
Or maybe they aim it a little bit. Hard to do better than that, isn't it?
Crowd reaction. They're alive here tonight.
Now they're into it. Brian Voss made one of the more courageous moves I've seen in a long time on the PBA Tour. He was in 12th place with 8 games of match play to play. He completely changed his game, his bowling ball, his style of play for the last 8 games of match play and made it into the 4th position with just a tremendous rush last night.
You were saying that he's doing what he's doing tonight, really kind of that slow hook.
That one got away from him a little bit. Got it back, though.
Brian Voss, as always.
Now we're going to get a look at the pin action here. Watch what happens to the pins. Watch the head pin go to the wall and the damage it'll do. Right there, all the way to the wall, comes back, just mixes up that 4, 7, 8 combination. And as almost always happens, when you make a mistake, get an open, the other guy jumps on you, and it gets the double, and it just aggravates the injury.
Brian Himmler kind of flips his hands down. He knows he was throwing a lot of strikes in practice. Leaves a tough spare here now in the 3-6-9.
Well, I think the first frame there, he got up, and again, like you mentioned, Mike, maybe he threw it a little harder. The ball didn't finish for him, but he was really trusting it in practice. He was giving it a lot of room, getting it clear out near the channel, and hooking it back with a softer speed. And then when he made an adjustment off a bad shot on lane 4, and this is the problem he's got.
Well, double problem now.
Yeah.
18 in the second. Tough way to start, going against a Hall of Famer who's off with a double, and you go open.
Well, the crowd's trying to pump him up a little bit. They're clapping for him, saying, come on, young, and you can do it. You can hear him in the background.
If Brian Voss should go on to win this match, our next match would be a battle of Hall of Famers.
Well, you know, I talked to Brian just a few minutes before we went on the air, and I said, Brian, you know, there was $100,000 available for a 300 game. He says, yeah, you know, he says, I figure, the way I look at it, I got 4 shots at it tonight. So he's pretty confident he's going to be in that championship match.
And Brian Himmler now leaves the 3-6-10. The spares, when you're getting 7 every time, they're never easy.
Well, it's obvious nerves. The first time on television, it's his first try in front of and what a way to start your first telecast in front of this huge live audience here at Robert Morris College. And you got these big screens that are probably, I don't know, how big are those screens? 10 by 10 at least?
At least.
And he can see everything he's doing. Everybody else can see everything. If you scratch your nose, they know it. So, you know.
Well, he plays to the crowd.
There's the screens that I was talking about. You can see how huge this arena is, the size of those screens, and every move you make, everybody here can see, and of course you can see it yourself. So when you make a mistake, it just kind of makes it a little bit bigger. Brian Voss on a double.
See, this is his 5th championship round appearance this year, and his 3rd strike in a row this game.
Well, you think he's going to do it the first game, Mike?
Well, it's early yet, Earl.
Brian's very relaxed and cool and extremely good under pressure when he needs to make it, because his fundamentals are so good. That's what makes Brian outstanding. And David Ozio is the same way, the guy coming up in the number 3 seat. Both of them can make great shots under pressure because their fundamentals are outstanding.
Well, there's 4. Brian Voss. He's starting to think about that $100,000. Brian Himmler, well, he's down by 52 pins. Earl and I will be back with the completion of this match after this.
We made a name for ourselves by inventing a wonder drug. And now, we're improving the diagnosis and treatment of major diseases. Our energy-absorbing foams make cars safer than ever. And our crop protectants help farmers produce a more abundant food supply.
So much good we can do for each other. Oh, what a world it can be.
Bayer. In healthcare, chemicals, and imaging technologies, we cure more headaches than you think.
How does one go about starting a business in their home?
Get a house. Big one. I mean, big enough, you know. Yeah, it doesn't have to be real big.
Sometimes life calls for deeper answers. That's why there's CompuServe. No online service has more informed user groups, more comprehensive databases, and better access to the internet. Enter CompuServe. Call for free software and 10 free hours online.
The Bayer Brunswick Touring Players Championship is being brought to you by Bayer, a research-based company in healthcare, chemicals, and imaging technologies. by Brunswick, the #1 name in bowling worldwide. And by CompuServe Online Service, because sometimes life calls for deeper answers. There's the crowd.
This is a huge crowd, Mike. It's unbelievable. The bowling fans in Pittsburgh really came out to support this event. And, of course, Bayer and Brunswick, I'm sure, are thrilled with this kind of a turnout.
Well, they got to be. I mean, there must be 2,500 people here.
Now, there's the ball he was throwing basically in practice. That kind of a line, giving it lots of room. He still isn't getting it out quite as far as he did when he was warming up. And we were watching him, you and I, and he's throwing strike after strike.
So you think the opening shot with leaving the 2-4-10 scared him off and he won't trust it after that?
That's the way it looks to me. And you know what's going to happen? Brian Voss probably is going to shoot a big number at him. And along about the 9th or 10th frame, Brian Himmler will then be nice and relaxed and he'll strike out.
Well, at the 6-10, he has a spare. A couple of those now searching for his first strike in this game. Brian Himmler from Cincinnati, Ohio, only 22 years of age. He's married. His wife's name is Alicia.
Only been married about 10 months, I understand, Mike. You know, he bowled Brian Voss, obviously, in match play. Beat him 210 to 203, but that was a long time ago.
A little different situation right
different
now.
Circumstances.
Yeah. Experience such a big factor in the championship round. Well, he gave that room. It still went high. The 3-6-10 is company this time. There's his wife looking on. And she's saying, I know you can bowl better than that. Cross lane at the 3-6-7-10. Quite a change. No, he's going to use his regular strike ball.
Well, this gives him a chance to show off. It's not that hard to spare. Idea is to get it in between the 3 and the 6. Obviously, the 6 will take out the 10. The 3-pin should go over and take out the 7. Got a chance.
Has to hook, and it does. Oh! And he waves at it and says, well, it's not my night.
Yeah, it figures. But his wife's clapping for him. She's happy. And I'm sure Brian, when it's all over, will be happy just to have been here, and the experience that he gains will be something he'll really use in the future to benefit his game.
He can also use the $7,500 if he winds up 5th.
Yeah, that's true. No question. The classic style of Hall of Famer Brian Voss.
Standing left. Swinging it out. Coming back. 5 in a row.
5 in a row. Well, he's got everything going his way right now. Brian started strong. Of course, Brian Himmler gave him the opportunity to get nice and loose. And believe it or not, in the back of Brian Voss's mind is, hey, there's $100,000 out there for 300. I'm going for it. I seriously feel that Brian's thinking that way.
And that money's put up by AGFA Film Picture Perfect Game, which is Brian Voss, right?
No question. This is the game you want to copy. Oh, a little different shot there.
Same result.
Same result. He hit that one a little bit. Got a little more on it.
And his wife says, keep it up, honey. Just 6 more.
That's right. Just won't trust it. Will not give it the room he needs to get it back. And it's a shame, but again, like I said, he will learn from this.
Well, still searching for his first strike. 61 in the 5th. Basically out of the match, and a spectator to see if Brian Voss can earn another $100,000. Cross lane at the 6-10. Has it. And it's the NFL on ESPN. This Sunday night, the Denver Broncos travel to Veterans Stadium to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. The Broncos are John Elway. He's fresh off just surpassing 40,000 yards passing. The Eagles, they're going to try and rebound from last week's loss to Dallas.
Well, we're all kind of pulling for Brian Himmler to get his first strike here. Maybe he'll loosen up a little bit.
Hey, do that. I keep thinking he's given enough room, and he finally did. So Brian Himmler says, well, it's not impossible. I did get a strike. Brian Voss says, I want 300. We'll find out if he gets it after this.
Any way you want, Ford is right for you.
Take your pick.
Get $750 cash back or low 3.9 financing for 48 months on the #1 selling Ford Ranger or Ford Escort. $750 cash back or 3.9 financing is a limited time offer. Use the $750 cash back as your down payment for Ranger or Escort. Hurry, see your Quality Plus Ford dealer today.
Ford is right for you.
She was everything a man could ever want, but I just had to let her go.
She said, darling, we can work it out. I said, honey, I don't think so.
See, the two of us are not the same. We're as different as night and day.
Now there's pepperoni in the crust.
I gotta eat mine the wrong way.
Crust first.
There's a new stuffed crust pizza from Pizza Hut with not just cheese, but pepperoni baked right into the crust.
I'm a little lonely, small price to pay for pepperoni.
Well, we're back live. And all eyes on Brian Voss as he enters the 7th frame. Halfway there.
Pretty substantial lead, I'd say. 89 pins. You don't often see someone possibly get beat by over 100 pins in a match on television, because to get here, you had to be bowling pretty good.
Not too often.
You could hear a pin drop in here right now.
One more. And his wife just left with the 2 kids, Cameron and Joshua. As Brian says, come on, cheer. Because they were getting too noisy. They're too hyped up about their dad doing so well.
Brian.
And we see the check right there. Bob Kirk, Vice President, Bayer Corporation, has this check for $100,000.
Well, it's a lot of money. It's a big check. $100,000 should be on a check that big, huh?
8th frame.
Hurry. Oh! Still going. 2/3 of the way there. 8 down and 4 to go. Well, let's hope Brian Himmler can get a strike now. You got the first one. Let's see if he can get a double. Make it a little more exciting. What he's thinking right now, let me get out of this guy's way, you know. I just want to get out of his way.
He's probably also thinking, if I can get to 200, won't get beat by over 100.
And Brian looks like he's got a headache. Maybe Bayer can help him out.
Oh, there he is.
Lots of room that time. Really trusted that one. He's nice and relaxed now, and like I said before, he's going to learn a lot from this particular time on television, his first time, and in this setting. A very difficult time, obviously, for Brian Himmler.
Standing way left, standing almost in the left-hand channel. And he drifts left from there, Earl. And the PBA washout, the 1, 2, 4, 6, 10. Quickly grabs his spare ball. He's probably going to try and hit the head pin on the right and bounce it over.
You saw Brian Voss sitting there, and what he's doing is just trying to stay within himself mentally. Trying to keep his concentration level up where it belongs.
Brian Voss cheers on Brian Himmler. Crowd in anticipation right now of Brian Voss.
Brian taking lots of time. These next 4 shots could be the biggest of his career.
Lots of money.
Well, he's not running him out anymore. He's really into the deep part of the conversation. He knows he's got a chance now. He knows he's right there. The 10th frame, 3 to go.
The crowd knows it too. The crowd is just as exciting to me as Voss.
Well, I'll tell you, my hands are perspiring, and I'm nervous. I can feel a chill going down my back every time this crowd goes crazy. Here we go.
Voss standing way left. This is the lane he chose to finish on.
Oh, my. A pocket. A pocket. 410. And they're on their feet. The whole crowd.
Well, Brian Voss, here it is.
Amazing, the pin action. The head pin goes to the side wall, hits the channel, and stays there. Normally that would come off the wall, kick out the 4 pin, and maybe the 10 also.
And we saw it come off the wall many times in practice for messenger strikes. But at the crucial time, it didn't happen for Brian Voss here.
Not a bad start, though. 266 is not a bad score. Start things out.
Well, last week it was 287 to 279 in an opening start.
Right, 264. I gave you the wrong score there. He just kind of threw it down there and forgot the spare.
Brian Voss with a commanding, well, he's not going to win by 100 pins. Well, he could. It depends what Himmler does on the count ball right here. And Brian Himmler finishes with 164. So Brian Voss wins by 100 pins, 264 to 164. Coming up next, we have Average Builders. Stay tuned.
It's not enough to love the game. You gotta love to win.
They're jealous. Get used to it.
Don't roll with the punches. Throw them.
Below the skin in comfort. And what do you get? Cut a precision groove to help the Norelco lift and cut system shave even closer. And what do you get? Build a razor that shaves closer, smoother than ever before. And what do you get? The Norelco razor, our closest shave ever.
Enter the ESPN Football Fanatics Sweepstakes, sponsored by Visa, to win a trip for two to Super Bowl 30 or one of hundreds of other prizes.
God, I love football.
Watch this week's ESPN Sunday Night NFL game between Denver and Philadelphia.
And no end zone fans.
Call the 800 number displayed during the third quarter and answer a question about the game, or enter on ESPN Net Sports Zone.
I'm telling you, it's a wonderful thing.
The ESPN Football Fanatics Sweepstakes, sponsored by Visa, the official card of the NFL.
For tonight's Average Builder, we're going to talk about choosing the right ball for the right lane condition. Well, many of us know that Bayer makes these, aspirin. What I didn't know, what you probably didn't know, is that Bayer also makes the urethane that goes into every Brunswick bowling ball. So if I want to avoid taking a lot of these, choosing the right ball for whatever lane condition I face becomes all important. And let's talk about that for just a minute here. What do we do if we walk into our local bowling center on our league night and the lanes are so oily that I can't get a hook at all? What kind of ball do I want to use then? Well, I probably want to use a ball similar to this one. It has a strong, dense core and what they call a strong reactive cover stock. The combination of these two things make this ball want to roll early and roll very well on really oily conditions. But that's not all we face. We also face very, very dry lane conditions. And what do we do then? Well, we choose a ball similar to this. What this has is a cover stock that what we call is repellent. And by repellent, I mean that it doesn't absorb the oil. So as a result, it wants to slide further down the lane and break later into the 1-3 pocket. But most of the conditions that we face are probably somewhere in between, middle conditions. Then we probably want to choose a ball like this. It still has that strong, dense core, but the cover stock is not as aggressive as this one over here, not repellent like this one here, so it works great on those middle conditions. Well, you may say to me, Mike, these are all reactive resin bowling balls, and I've tried them, and they just don't seem to work well for me. What do I do then? Well, you may want to go back to the old reliable, the urethane bowling ball, with the core here, the thin shell here of urethane, and the old-fashioned pancake weight block. What this ball wants to do is make a nice, even arc into the 1-3 or 1-2 pocket. The important thing is that if I want to not have to take these, I got to pick the right one of these for whatever condition I face, and I really think that we need all 4 of these in our arsenal. Well, that wraps up the Average Builders for 1995. But ESPN's going to be back on TV televising bowling in 1996, and I'll be there with a whole new series of Average Builders. Well, there you see it. 2 Hall of Famers. Brian Voss taking on the red-hot David Ozio. Can he continue his hot bowling that he did last week? Well, we'll find out in just a minute.
With my itchy dandruff, I said I'd try it. Denorex tingles. Head and Shoulders doesn't.
Both have effective dandruff medicine, but Denorex has something extra that tingles, feels fresh.
That's why I started using Denorex. The flakes, the itch, gone.
Denorex, the serious dandruff shampoo.
Introducing the RPM Formula 4 from AMF. The RPM Formula 4 from AMF. Hook and hitting power way beyond the limits.
Presenting the Dremel Multi-Pro. You cut, Dremel cuts. You sharpen, Dremel sharpens. You polish, Dremel polishes. You drill, Dremel drills. You clean, Dremel cleans. You sand, Dremel sands. You grind, Dremel grinds. You hammer. Did I mention we cut? The Dremel Multi-Pro. With up to 30,000 RPM, it has the speed you need to power through hundreds of jobs.
Alan's asthma attack woke me. At 3 a.m., you don't try some unknown brand. You trust Primatene Mist.
It starts to open clogged breathing passages in as fast as 15 seconds.
We take asthma seriously with Primatene Mist.
Fastest type asthma relief without a prescription.
And that's what they're bowling for, the Touring Players Championship Trophy. Really a coveted title on the PBA Tour, Earl.
Well, no question about it. There's so many things, so many perks that go with it. Now we're going to watch 2 of the best players on the tour in a heads-up match. This should be a great match, Mike. A little different start than Brian Himmler had, huh?
Well, a little different bowler, too.
A little different bowler, yeah. A little more experience here. This guy has been on 4 out of the last 5 telecasts. So David Ozio very comfortable out there, trying to win back-to-back.
Brian Voss is not afraid, though.
You don't think so? Huh?
No. Hasn't missed that lane, Earl.
Well, he hasn't missed either one. He just didn't strike. I'll tell you, that was a pocket shot and very unusual reaction he got in the 10th frame of the last game when he had that 9 in a row. But, you know, you copy either one of these styles if you want to be a good player. If you can copy either one of these, if you can get to the foul line the way David Ozio or Brian Voss gets there, you can make good shots. Perfect balance, great free arm swings.
Well, he's happy that he got away with hitting the nose and leaving only the 4-7.
You know what? He made the mistake that you won't see a guy that's been around as long as Brian Voss has and as good as he is make very often. He made an adjustment off a shot that hit light in the pocket in the 10th frame, and that was his first time to bowl on this lane since then, and he adjusted off that shot. Kind of surprises me that he didn't keep it out there and give it the room and trust his ball. You know, Brian, remember the 10th frame, the ball came in light. Here's another look at this shot here, the 2nd frame of this match.
Just hooks too soon.
But he didn't give it the room. So he made a little bit of an adjustment there, tried to get the ball up higher into the pocket area. Almost got the split, which would have been disaster against David Ozio.
Ozio picking up where he left off last week. He seems to draw energy from these arena crowds, as we see the almost capacity crowd here at the Robert Morris Center tonight. Robert Morris College, actually, is the center. 10-pin lead already for Ozio. trying to increase it to 20 on the left lane, which, if there is a more difficult lane, seems to be this one.
Well, he got beat by Brian Voss. David Ozio did 257 to 200 in match play.
Oh, threw a good shot, but it just snapped a hair on the back end, leaving that 4-pin. And he was going to change balls to shoot this, but he's using the strike ball. Mike Durbin, along with Earl Anthony, we're here at the Robert Morris College for the championship round of the Touring Players Championship of the PBA. This is the second game. David Ozio leads by 9 pins in our opening match. Brian Voss defeated Brian Himmler 264 to 164.
Well, no 300 this game.
You know, you see that that's his 59th career television appearance, and Ozio making his 39th. 98 between the two of them. They still don't come close to you.
Brian gave that one lots of room. Looks like he's changing his release a little bit to me, like he's going around the ball a little more and trying to open up the lane a little bit. This is the way he played match play last night. Instead of being smooth and going through it, he's been bowling his normal release. That's the release, when I say normal, that he likes the most, his most consistent shot. That's what he played the first game. Now he's starting to go around it a little more, which makes it a little more difficult to be consistent. There, see how he got around that one? Got it back.
I just see 10 pins now.
Well, he's going around the side of it more, trying to hook it a little more, and Ozio, I'm sure, will start doing the same thing as the lanes go through any kind of a change. The oil moves a little bit, the players have to adjust, and this is the kind of adjustments they make.
Third, fourth frame. Oh, breaks it out of there, leaves only the 8-pin.
Well, again, Ozio tried to open up the lane, a lot of side turn there, Mike. Leaves only the 8-pin, as you mentioned. Easy spare for him, but the hand action is where you got to watch. Watch the player at the bottom, how they get around the side of the ball, and Ozio really got around that one.
At the 8-pin. No trouble. And it's women's basketball on ESPN2. The U.S. national team, led by Rebecca Lobo, NCAA Woman of the Year for '95, goes against the always tough Stanford University Cardinals. That's Friday, November 10th at 10:30 Eastern Time. Trying to get back on track, and does.
Ozio really hitting up on the ball, going around the side, giving it lots of room, trusting the ball to come back, and that's the adjustment he's decided to make. Open up the lane, make it work for him. Voss doing the same thing. He's standing clear over by the ball return as far as he can without actually standing in front of it or on it, and really sending it right. A lot of side turn. There's a great angle. He doesn't like something moved or bothered him.
There was a cameraman. There's a screen back there, Earl, and a cameraman, not one of our ESPN cameramen, but a guy taking photographs, so I guess for a newspaper or something, walked behind the screen.
All right, here we go again. Brian, very professional, steps back, gets reset. Lots of side turn here. Oh, boy, huh?
Boy, he put that right out of his mind, didn't he?
Sure did. Step back, went through his routine again, got all set, and made the great shot.
And we're going to ask him to do some interviews of players in between matches here. Lynn Swan. Suppose he's a bowler?
I don't know. I really don't know. Honestly, don't.
I know he's a pro bowler, or used to be.
That's for sure. And he did bowl in the Pro-Am, so.
Trying for 4 in a row. Oh, what a nice break. Brian Voss. He's taken a lead here. Can David Ozio come back? He trails by 22. We'll find out right after this.
Distinctive, comfortable clothing fits today's active and demanding lifestyle. Add fashion, quality, and flair, and you've got PBA Tour Apparel. PBA Tour Apparel, made in America, is clearly the choice of champions, like PBA Player of the Year, Norm Duke, Activewear with American-made quality and style and recognizable value. Call 1-800-521-5212 to place your order for PBA Tour apparel or your free catalog. PBA Tour apparel by King Louie, the striking difference.
I'm here with a few friends speaking to you on a Motorola cellular phone. You guys ready? Sure. We're here to show you that these Motorola phones are built to take a lot of punishment. Everyone okay?
Check. Oh, yeah. Roger.
Is there a tougher cellular phone out there? Spare me. The more you need a cellular phone, the more you need Motorola.
It's time for the NHL. So when they ice it, hook it, save it, and score it, you'll need to know. NHL Tonight on ESPN2, Tuesday through Saturday at 11:30 p.m.
And another celebrity here, Roger Kingdom, two-time Olympic gold medalist. We'll put a few hurdles out there on the lanes, and he can go 60 feet real quick.
Well, he'd get there before that bowling ball, I'll guarantee you that.
Yeah. Has to have this double here. Can't throw it any better, can you?
No, and you can hear him. He says, "Come on, baby."
Well, reduce that lead down to 12 pins, can take it to 2 with one more. And it always seems like, you know, there's crucial shots in games. I just get the feeling that this is one of them right here.
I'm sure in David's mind, he wants to reduce. He can't afford to miss. He knows Voss is, he just watched him throw 9 in a row in the opening match. He knows he's lined up again. And both players, basically, they're almost like watching replays of each other when they go to the foul line, the way they release the ball.
Oh, he got it. Nice carry on that 10 pin. Brian Voss working on 4 in a row, leading by only 2 pins right now. 7th frame action.
Very, very good possibility the winner of this match would win the tournament.
Very good. Still hasn't missed that lane.
He may not ever miss it the way he's going.
Talk to Brian Voss about being a father. His comments.
I love being a father. It's you know, it's a wonderful way to experience life that without having children you wouldn't know what I'm talking about. It kind of teaches you a lot about yourself, a lot about my father that passed away a couple years ago. But they're here tonight, and they've never sat on telecast for an hour and a half should I happen to win all 4 matches. So it's going to be a treat.
Trying for 6.
What a match. Tremendous talent. You see Brian's son looking on, watching it. Here's a look at that shot halfway down the lane. Look at the room he gave this. Look at the rotation to get it back. He is into this, and so are both players. They're flying high.
Hey, looked like Roger Kingdom going over hurdle there.
There you go.
Not watching, though. Ozio trailing by 22. 12. Well, you know, this is 6 guns at 60 feet. Who's going to blink first?
That's really, Michael, that's a great analogy. That's exactly what it is. 2 Hall of Famers going at it, both realizing that if they win this match, they could be the, you know, they could be in position to go all the way. But, you know, another thing, way to look at this, there's going to be a lot of energy expended here. Both players knowing that the other is such a tremendous player, they can't afford to make a mistake. The winner of this match could be a little drained. Ernie Schlegel will be waiting in the wings to take him on.
9th frame. Foundation. Ozio still alive. Well, Ozio had it done to him last week. He may be on the receiving end this week as Brian Voss could strike it out for 280 and lock him out.
Wouldn't that be something? Shoot 268 and lose.
Ozio not watching.
Oh,
what a break.
Well, he got that one deeper into the lane, farther out near the channel with more on it. It hooked back harder. Strip to 4. Good break there. Tremendous break.
And his wife liked it.
Well, this is the shot that's going to make the difference. He needs this one to make Ozio get 2 in the 10th.
Yeah, he gets this one 9 and a spare, and it's move on to Schlegel time.
Now, they don't get any easier. Ernie Schlegel's not going to be anybody to take lightly. He's tough in the clutch. He likes this kind of shot. Here we go. Lots of room here. Boy, is he bowling well or what? Wow. Unbelievable talent. These guys are just, they look like they're practicing it and make it look so easy.
Well, that's how people used to feel against you. Don't you know that?
Oh, come on now. Well,
this is it. 9 pins, locks it up, but he's thinking strike.
No question. He'll be aggressive. He'll give it everything he's got. And Ozio's hoping he leaves something. Anything. Give me a chance.
Ozio says, you rat, why didn't you give me a chance?
Well, he did it to Walter Ray last week. And Voss did it to him this week. 280. Back-to-back 264, 280. They said there's no defense in this game. Come on.
Well, 2 Hall of Famers. Bowling like Hall of Famers. Well, Ozio leaves the 4-pin in the 10th, but it doesn't matter. He's going to wind up with $10,000. But Brian Voss, he's got a date with Ernie Schlegel. We'll find out the outcome of that date after these messages.
Looking for a great deal on your new Ford minivan?
Anywhere you want.
Come in today and drive away in a roomy Ford Windstar for just $279 a month.
Anywhere you go.
Or get $1,500 cash back for a limited time on every Ford Aerostar in stock.
Anytime, anywhere, anywhere.
Lots of space, smooth ride, and Ford Windstar is just $279 a month. Plus, Windstar meets 1998 safety standards today.
Ford is right for you.
Hurry, see your Quality Plus Ford dealer today.
Trained my boy McNeely to go toe-to-toe with the champ, and he did for 89 seconds. He didn't back down from any combinations thrown at him, and he ain't backing down from this one.
There's a new stuffed crust pizza from Pizza Hut. Not just cheese, but pepperoni baked right into the crust.
So good you'll eat it backwards. Show him, kid.
Oh, boy. The new 1-2 combination cheese and pepperoni stuffed crust pizza.
Hey, McNeely, how many slices am I holding?
Welcome back to the championship round of the Bayer Brunswick Touring Players Championship. And we see Brian Voss with 11 strikes defeats David Ozio 280 to 247. Now let's take a look at some of our other finishers.
Our runner-up this week, Mike Edwards. He missed the top 5 by only 21 pins, and Bob Learn Jr. was right behind him. He was in contention all the way until the last game.
And a tie for our next 2 spots between Len Blakey, one of the young talents on our tour, and a tour veteran, former national champion Eric Forkel.
Mike Scroggins, he grabbed the last spot for the Merit Mixed Doubles event by finishing 10th here, and Jess Stayrook is having his best year ever. This left-hander is really bowling well.
And another fine left-hander with his 6th year of earnings more than $100,000. Good guy, Parker Bone III. And David Traber was next. He won his 2nd title this year in Baltimore.
And 14th, Norm Duke, PBA's #1 ranked bowler. Won twice this year, Mike. And Walter Ray Williams Jr., he finished his 1st year as PBA president.
And another PBA president. He cashed in 24 of 26 events this year, Mike Albee. And a very consistent player on the PBA Tour. Pays off almost every week for Don Mosier.
George Brannon III, he led here after rounds 3 and 4. And then Butch Soper, who qualified for this year's Japan Cup for the first time in his career.
And the player who finished 2nd in Indianapolis this year, still looking for that first win, Richard Wolf. And John Mazza, always looking for ways to improve his game.
Curtis Odom is an ambassador for the American Bowling Congress, and he had a good week. Mark Williams, he's near the top of every statistical category this year's PBA Tour.
And in 24th, he's a 2-time winner. Both of the Choice Hotels event. Steve Jaros, and our alternate was our statistician last week, Brian Goebel. Pedersen warms up. There's Ernie Schlegel. He's going to take on a red-hot Brian Voss in our semifinal match coming up next.
Everybody hates to eat and run. We'd rather take it slow. But the way this life is going, gotta grab your food and go. And when all that running round catches up with you at last, get yourself some Alka-Seltzer and you'll feel better fast.
Introducing new cherry-flavored Alka-Seltzer with a mouth-watering cherry taste. Nothing's faster for relief of acid indigestion or heartburn with headache. Get new cherry Alka-Seltzer and you'll feel better fast.
Introducing the RPM Formula 4 from AMF. The RPM Formula 4 from AMF. Hook and hitting power way beyond the limits.
My mom and dad are buying a home, so I get my own room all to myself. Mom says after we move in, I could fix mine up any way I want. And if my sister wants to bug me or something, she'll have to knock first.
Lisa, there you are. Come on, let's go.
At Fannie Mae, we're the nation's largest source of funds for mortgage lenders. Call us for a free guide to help you find the mortgage that's right for you.
From the team that brought you Jock Rock and Jock Jams, ESPN and Tommy Boy presents Jock Rock Volume 2. Yeah. Even more of the greatest crowd rock and sports anthems of all time. Jock Rock Volume 2. Available in record stores everywhere.
Final Southwest Conference Championship is up for grabs. This week, the Texas A&M Aggies head to Houston to battle the Rice Owls. Tomorrow at 8, only on ESPN.
And welcome back to the Robert Morris College. It's the Bayer Brunswick Touring Players Championship. And there you go. Hey, guys, that's my sign. Used to be send money. Following the PBA Tour. And they decided out here that I'm only to work with Hall of Famers, as Johnny Petraglia, a Brunswick staffer, is joining us. Welcome, John.
Oh, thanks, Mike. Boy, this is just so great so far. I'm having the time of my life tonight.
Well, so is Brian Voss.
Oh, he really looked sharp. Ozio bowled tremendous. I felt sorry for Brian Himmler because he was so nervous. Ozio bowled great, and the key shot in the 9th frame when Brian tripped to 4, when he got a little soft, that was the match right there.
Well, we'll see how this match goes now. 2 more experienced players.
Well, I don't think anybody knows Ernie Schlegel's game any more than you do, John. You've seen him bowl for a long time back in the New York area.
And Voss just keeps throwing strikes. He's had 1 spare in 2 games.
He really is sharp, Mike. Ernie, I know Ernie since I'm 14 years old, so I've been watching him bowl 35 years. And
you're 49, John?
Almost.
Senior Tour's coming up, John. It's just around the corner.
Oh, he's already got it mapped out. He's figured out how he can win in 5 decades and 2 millennium. He'll explain that to you.
Here we go. First look at Ernie Schlegel.
Boy, he didn't want to let that one go, did he?
No, Ernie feeling it a little bit. It's been since 1989 since Ernie has bowled on a telecast, and I think everybody feels it a little bit, John, if you haven't been there for a while.
Earl, do you also think that maybe when somebody throws, say, something like 23 strikes and 24 shots, that you get a little nervous, knowing that you can't miss?
I doubt it. I doubt it. Do you? You really think so? I don't think so. I think Ernie's been around long enough to play his own game.
We see why they call him Iron Man Ernie. 741 total events, beating Salvino, who bowled, it seemed like, for 60 years. That's Petraglia, 636.
Well, I've only been around 40 years.
You're not even 50 yet. Ernie, 230 average. Well, back in it now.
Ernie has, when we get a chance to look at his footwork a little bit, John, maybe you can explain why he does what he does, but I've noticed Ernie does this. He's always done this. Kind of drags his right foot. He'll step out with the left, drag the right. Step out with the left, drag the right. Have you noticed that?
Yes, and in the early days, he actually used to drag it completely on the very first step. He's actually gotten a lot better at that.
Amazing. Well, this guy doesn't drag anything. He just keeps throwing strikes.
Well, that was the shot. He didn't trip it, or he didn't trip it. No, he did in the 9th frame of the last game.
That's when it counted the most. We're going to take a look at the style here, John, of Brian Voss. Can you see what you'd like to talk about here?
Well, I always felt that Brian's game was pretty much flawless. I think that maybe lane 4 is starting to dip a little bit, and two shots in a row he's going high. I'm sorry, he's starting to hook a little bit more in the back end than lane 3.
Dip. I never heard that expression before.
It's a New York expression. It's dip.
You got to be from the east for that one, Earl.
All right. Well, dip means it's hooking more?
Yeah, it dips hard in the back end, the same as flips hard in the back end. But, you know, from New York, you don't like to use too many syllables, so just use dip.
Is that when you say jeet yet and stuff like that?
Right.
No jus.
All right, Ernie's still in the match. Brian gave him a little reprieve there.
No trouble with lane 3. Well, Schlegel got a chance to get back in the match.
This is it right now. This is, even though it's early, Ernie has to show that he's into this thing and put a little pressure on Voss, or he's just going to take off and hide again.
I agree.
Well, we see Ernie had the only 300 this week, right?
Yes, the only one.
He also had a 299 game.
In the same block. Same 8-game block. Look at the concentration. Ernie really into this. Hold it again.
Too fast, too fast, too fast.
As Ernie is mic'd, and we got an idea what he's saying.
He's talking about his footwork, right, John?
Talking about his footwork. He knows that when his feet get fast, he then yanks his swing through, causing it to go high.
Always been a great spare shooter, though, Ernie Schlegel.
Well, you're not going to beat Brian Voss with spares, though.
Well, not today, that's for sure. I think Ernie's going to get it going here. I think Brian's going to have his hands full before this one's over.
No trouble on lane 3 for either player. Right now, nobody has struck this game on lane 4.
You know, Ernie also, you know, he's talking to himself. He's talking so we can hear him, but that relaxes him a little bit to say it out loud. That makes him feel a little more comfortable.
He's moved deeper, about 2 boards just now.
He hasn't got much more room to move.
Well, he threw it harder also.
Trips the 4 again.
You know, I mentioned earlier,
And it's CFA football this Thursday, November 9th, 8 o'clock. It's a Southwest Conference battle. And the Aggies of Texas A&M taking on the Rice Owls in Houston, Texas, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, 5 o'clock on the coast.
Excuse me, Michael. Didn't mean to interrupt you there. I was going to say to John, I mentioned earlier that Brian Voss, I said, you know, $100,000 for a 300 game. He says, well, that just means I get 4 shots at it tonight. Oh, there's confidence.
That's confidence. I think next game's going to be very interesting because Randy said to me just a minute ago that everybody seems to be in, and when he was throwing practice, he found something throwing it real hard from out. I don't know if he's going to stay there or not, but if he does, it could be a very interesting last game.
Well, he struggled a little bit, I thought, in practice, John, as I watched him. I mean, Randy, you know, throws a lot of strikes, and he wasn't throwing that many that I saw.
Maybe they're breaking down faster than he anticipated.
He will get some practice shots.
And he has a way of figuring out as he's 5-0 from the top spot.
I watched the position round game last night. Ernie Schlegel against Randy Pedersen for the lead, the tournament lead. And Ernie was leading going into that game. And Ernie bowled a pretty good game. Missed a spare shot, 256. That's not bad. Lost by 23 pins.
We asked Ernie if he thought he could win again. His response.
When you're throwing atom bombs against toothpicks and you start to understand how the inner technology of the bowling ball is to get to the pocket against some light pins, yeah, I think I could win again. And maybe more than just this time.
More than just this time. It really sounds like he's shaking in his boots, doesn't he?
He's planning on winning this one. That's what he's saying, right?
Well, one more and he evens the match.
Well, I think Brian's got all he wants here.
Well,
no! Damn! Inside, I told you that. Get it right.
Well, he's really upset because that was his good lane. He didn't want to go high on lane 3. He knew that.
Well, you could see it from behind that he was definitely left of target all the way. And for Ernie, who's extremely accurate, you know, he doesn't miss too much.
When he does, though, he generally misses left. Don't you agree, John?
Well,
and he missed a spare. Well, Ernie Schlegel, you don't see that happen very often. Right now, his daughter and wife, Catherine, look on. They're not happy. He's not happy. We'll be back after this.
Most people know us as the inventors of a wonder drug. But we also help make fabrics stronger, homes more energy efficient, animals healthier. And we're helping to lead the way in biotech research.
So much good we can do for each other. Oh, what a world it can be.
Bayer. In healthcare, chemicals, and imaging technologies, we cure more headaches than you think.
One name that's always on the job, Arrow. The Arrow T50 staple gun for insulation and 1,001 household uses. The hot melt glue gun with automatic lever feed for home repairs and arts and crafts. T50 staple gun, hot melt glue gun. Arrow, you'll grow attached.
All set?
You bet I am. Thanks to you.
A few weeks ago with Jesse, I noticed something. Dandruff. So I told him about Head & Shoulders. Regular shampoos just rinse flakes away. Head & Shoulders helps prevent flakes from even forming.
Because great hair can't have flakes.
And Brian Voss leading by 23 up on the right lane. A little conversation going on between the players in between frames there.
Yeah, there was, but I think this is crunch time right here. When somebody misses a spare like that, the champions usually come back with a double and really try to stick you in the ground.
Well, there's one stick.
Yep.
Ah, yes. Brian Voss, he's having a wonderful night. This match a long way from over, though, I feel. And Ernie missed an easy spare. Gave Brian Voss a hammer here, but 4 frames to play.
Long way to go. Ernie can certainly pull himself back and get 226 out of this. And he's got to mentally get in it. That's Ernie's whole game, has always been mental.
Voss trying to increase it to 33. And does. So when you say that his game is mental, what do you mean by that, John?
Well, Ernie has never really been all that much affected by lane conditions. He doesn't throw a lot of ball. His game is pretty basic and simple. Ernie falls into good rhythms or out of rhythms, and most of it comes from his head, how mental he is within himself. When he has a lot of confidence, Ernie can strike all day long. But he gets distracted easily. As he gets back into it now, he might hit solid off the sheet. If he can forget that 4th pin and get involved, he'll strike out. I don't think he'll worry about what Voss is going to do right now.
You know him as well as anybody. Will he forget that frame, or will it bother him?
He's still talking to himself, so he hasn't forgotten it completely. I think he would have to get by this strike and have the double, and then he'll be back in.
I agree with you entirely. This is the shot of the match for Ernie right here.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's a star-studded field looking on of proprietors, Hall of Famers, football players, track people, and whatever. And PBA bowlers. They're enjoying it. Everybody's enjoying it. Brian Voss, though, is in his own little world, leading by 23.
Well, he's not going to take Ernie lightly. He knows Ernie can put it out.
So. Ooh. Life for Schlegel.
Absolutely, because now even if he sets it up in the 9th, if Ernie goes off the sheet, he can force Voss to strike in the 10th. That changes everything from a mental point of view for Ernie.
And he knows it. He's bowled enough of these matches over his career. And this is the type of setting that Ernie would love.
Oh, yeah.
He's a ham at heart as he converts the 10 pin for Voss. 9th frame coming up.
Well, you know, excuse me, Johnny, you know how Ernie thinks. What do you think's going through his mind?
I think he's just going to, he's sitting there. Normally what Ernie used to say is lock and load. He tries to eliminate the lane condition about this time. He gets a little bit harder and a little bit straighter, and he's thinking 10 in the pit, nothing else.
High hard one, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And as always, ESPN has all of the scores and our updates at 10:30 and 50 past the hour. Brian Voss in the 9th frame. Strikes in the 9th frame. We're in the semifinal game of the Bayer Brunswick Touring Players Championship here at the Robert Morris College. Mike Durbin working along with Earl Anthony and our guest analyst tonight, John Petraglia, for this game. In our opening match, Brian Voss defeated Brian Himmler 264 to 164. Went on to defeat David Ozio.
Excuse me.
Go ahead.
I think on this shot he'll hit about a board inside his target and throw it about a mile or 2 an hour faster. And I also think that he'll either trip the 4 or be solid.
Solid, John.
Good call. But he threw good. He didn't really get that much faster. He made a great shot.
He didn't throw it left of his target at all. He's thinking, keep it right.
Make him work for it, Ernie. Come on now.
You hear that? Ernie was talking to himself. Says, "Come on now, Ernie. Make him work it. Make him work for it."
And he just lost 100 as he went over the time with him. What did he say?
Let it fly.
Let it fly. Yeah. So that's free swing.
Free swing.
Good. A lot of speed, and he trusted it.
I'm impressed.
Boy, that's fair. Maybe it's because he's striking out because he missed it.
Come on, baby. Make him work for it now. Come on. Give him this game now.
He's back in Central bowling action. I mean, he's really getting himself into it.
I gather that was a bowling center in Brooklyn?
Long time. No, that was in upstate New York a long time ago where I met him.
Okay.
Well, he needs this one to make Voss get the first hit in the 10th. And who knows, anything can happen when you need a strike.
Oh! Yeah! Thank you, work for that strike. No freebies here. No freebies. Goddamn forfeit.
If he doesn't miss that spare, he could be locking this match up just about.
Just about.
You got to give him credit. He's come back 52 years old, and he's showing you what he's made out of.
Big as the last one. Come on.
Count's important.
Yes, it is.
He likes it.
Who's getting me now?
He's talking to Voss. He's trying to make Voss think a little bit here.
If Voss doesn't strike here, Ernie will say in the mic, a little short.
Well, I'll tell you what, Brian is a competitor. With all this talking going on, you know that he is just reaching down for that strike.
Absolutely. I think maybe Ernie's rhetoric might have given him a little more.
Schlegel wins.
The ladies. Sorry, Mama. Yeah. Stay next time. Yeah. Yeah, Larry. It's one for you.
Is he using up too much, John? Would he have anything left for the next game?
I think right about now, I don't think he's going to burn out at all. I enjoyed it.
Wow, I'll tell you what, Ernie Schlegel putting on a show here. Everybody's entertained, even the announcers. We're amazed. We'll be back for the championship match and championship frame after this.
You only get 15 minutes of fame.
Unless you take someone else's.
11 strikes down. 10 pins up. 1 ball to go.
My mom says a couple of ounces of antifreeze can kill our dog. Even 2 tablespoons can be bad for me. So we use an antifreeze that's safer for kids and pets. That's less harmful.
My dad says any antifreeze can protect against freezing and rust.
But is it less harmful for me?
And JoJo?
That's what my dad cares about. What about yours?
Sierra Antifreeze, because safer is better.
Step back, please. Any more metal, sir?
What do you get for the person who has everything? See a Harley-Davidson genuine dealer.
It's better.
Not bitter.
Surprise.
Sweet.
Ocean Spray. Ruby red and tangerine grapefruit juice drink.
This is grapefruit. It's better.
Not bitter. Surprise. Yeah, it's sweet.
It has 2 tastes, like sweet at first and then grapefruit at the end.
Sweet grapefruit and tangerines.
Tangerine?
Wow. It's better.
Much better. Not bitter.
What a surprise.
It's very, very sweet.
It's not any ordinary grapefruit juice.
It's got a sweet grapefruit taste you'll crave. Ruby red and tangerine. Crave the wave. Ocean Spray.
And now it's time for championship frame. And in our opening match, Earl Bryant's working on 9 in a row.
Yeah, and this is the one that could have put him in line for that $100,000 bonus. Looks good, looks good. Oh, my. Now look at his reaction. Can you believe it? Nobody else could. He leaves the 410 in the pocket.
He says, why no? But he still wins. 264 to 164, which set up the battle of the Hall of Famers, Voss and Ozio. And again, Brian Voss is in the 10th frame, needing only 9 pins.
Well, Brian Voss, being as aggressive as he is, knows he needs 9, but he's going for the big one. He wants them all because the lockout is 10 in the pit, and there they are.
Brian Voss seemed unbeatable at this point in time. Playing to the crowd, he won 280 to 247 over Ozio. That set up a classic match against a guy who's both 741 tournaments, Ernie Schlegel. He's in the 11th frame.
And you think after that many events he might be tiring a little? No way. This guy has got it all going. The adrenaline's going. 52-year-old Ernie Schlegel to make Voss double. And look at his reaction.
Well, that's the face of a competitor right there. He went on to win, finishing with 6 strikes in a row for 226 over 218, setting up our championship match. It's the veteran Ernie Schlegel taking on Mr. Loose and Randy Pedersen. We'll be back right after this.
Everybody hates to eat and run. We'd rather take it slow. But the way this life is going, gotta grab your food and go. And when all that running round catches up with you at last, get yourself some Alka-Seltzer and you'll feel better fast.
Introducing new cherry-flavored Alka-Seltzer with a mouth-watering cherry taste. Nothing's faster for relief of acid indigestion or heartburn with headache. Get new cherry Alka-Seltzer and you'll feel better fast.
Presenting the Dremel Multi-Pro. You cut, Dremel cuts. You sharpen, Dremel sharpens. You polish, Dremel polishes. You drill, Dremel drills. You clean, Dremel cleans. You sand, Dremel sands. You grind, Dremel grinds. You hammer. Did I mention we cut? The Dremel Multi-Pro. With up to 30,000 RPM, it has the speed you need to power through hundreds of jobs.
Time management entails prioritizing, synergizing, reorganizing,
Earth to business guru. This is difficult. Well, at least Office Max, the office product superstore, is easy. Over 6,000 office products, including quality brand names like Rolodex or Olympus, at guaranteed low prices that won't make that vein on your accountant's forehead bulge. Free delivery, too. Talk about time management. Office Max, we go to the max for you.
Finding out Little Caesars' new stuffed crust pizza is a better deal at only $7.99 results in a kind of wacky happiness. A large cheese and pepperoni stuffed crust pizza. Carried out at Little Caesars, a better deal at just $7.99.
Pizza, pizza.
Now get any of Little Caesars pizzas delivered right to your door.
Hey, beautiful toga.
Delivery.
And again, there's the Touring Players Championship trophy. One of these two guys is going to walk home with it right now. Randy Pedersen yelling at John Campos, the tournament director, that he wants to start the match. But lets Ernie finish on the lane that he wants to finish on, that left lane.
Well, let's see how Randy starts, where he's playing. You know, you mentioned earlier he thought about playing way outside near the channel, Mike. Maybe. No, he's playing in. Looks like he's going to play in where Voss and Ozio are playing.
Well, I think that's the place to play, don't you?
Obviously, by the reaction they got. Shooting those kind of numbers, you got to play those.
Wow. A little bucket crumbler on the first shot.
Well, that's the kind of start you need, and Ernie's so pumped up. It's going to be interesting to see his first shot. Will he back off a little on the speed, maybe go high, or will he still have the adrenaline going and throw that ripper?
Well, it just will have come down from that finish of the semifinal match.
That's just it. I don't think he wants to come down. He's got to stay up there in order to keep that adrenaline going, keep that edge.
Can he do it, though?
I think so. I think Ernie's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. You know, last night in the position round, Ernie was the leader going into the last game. These two guys bowled for the tournament lead. Randy Pedersen shot .279. Ernie shot .256 to lose.
Well, right there we see he's just looking to get over 500 right now. 27 and 27 in his 33rd career TV appearance.
Well, other than his first win, I think this would mean more to Ernie than anything else he's done on the tour if he were to win here. He's saying, you're mine. He's talking about Randy Pedersen. You're mine. That's an action puller, folks. He wants you to think about anything but your game. So he talks to you. Yeah, that's Ernie.
Well, he's got the crowd talking. 18 and 6 in match play. He's got to start off striking here.
Well, he's got him going for him. Bucket crumbler and a late 10.
Is Randy the type that would talk right back to him?
Randy's liable to do anything. He's a great guy. He's a lot of fun, and he's a competitor.
And he can definitely win on TV. The third best record overall, 29 and 13. He's trying to get to 30.
And he's 5-0 from the #1 seed.
Which is hard to do, as you well know.
No, boy, I'll tell you what. You're at a disadvantage, actually, being the #1 seed. And he's 5-0 from there.
Oh, 3 in a row. And he's saying, I'm not yours yet.
Tell you what. We're a long ways from downtown Pittsburgh, but I bet you they can hear us in Harrisburg right now.
Schlegel in his element, though.
And look at the bowling fans. All that racket, and as soon as Ernie stepped up with the ball, not a sound.
Great, isn't it? That's great. Oh! Solid 10 on a perfectly executed shot.
Didn't look. Lousy rack, Ernie. Why don't you look first? Jeez, Ernie. Lousy rack. Jeez, you didn't even look at it.
He likes to talk, doesn't he? He tells you, you're never in doubt what's happening with Ernie.
That's for
He'll
sure.
let you know.
At the 10 pin, no trouble.
Well, his wife, Catherine,
Look at the rack.
sitting there, and she's going through as much hell as you can go through right now because she lives and dies with Ernie's bowling.
And she's about as intense as he is.
Oh, I'd say at least as much.
Amateur move.
Amateur move, huh?
This keeps Ernie thinking. He likes to talk. It keeps him thinking. The more he's talking, the more he's relaxed. The more he's into it. Can't bowl much better than that. 4 balls flush.
You know, Ernie's very accurate, and I'm sitting right behind him. If he hits the second arrow, it's flush. If he hits one board right of it, it's flusher.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see how he responds if Randy Pedersen should start with 5 or 6 in a row, because then Ernie knows he's going to have to shoot a big number. Right now, he feels he's still very much into this.
Well, he is. Didn't get the messenger coming across this time. Same basic hit.
That's what Ernie was looking for. See, now that's the kind of hit Ernie expects to see happen from that angle. That's what he wants. He wants that kind of thing to happen just 1 or 2 times to Randy Pedersen, and Ernie will then go out there and make some shots.
Cross lane at the 10-pin, changes balls.
Had a little problem there.
Well, he says wanted to hang on my hand a little bit, but we got rid of it.
Sometimes when you change balls, you have a problem letting go of it. If Ernie can get Randy thinking about anything but what he's trying to do, Ernie will beat him. And that's what Ernie does. There is a defense in this game, and that's part of it. Getting the other player out of his mental position on the lanes.
Trying to get back on track. Light hit, leaves the 7-pin, and Schlegel is thinking here. He's ready. He trails by 9, but the advantage seems to be with Schlegel.
Well, Ernie's going to fight you. He's going to grind and grind. He's just that kind of a player. You don't expect big numbers from Ernie, but you expect him to be there. He's always going to be there.
Coming up at 11 o'clock tonight, it's Sports Center. They're going to be talking about Akeem versus Alonzo. They'll also talk about Northwestern football and the American League Rookie of the Year balloting. Be sure to stay tuned. For the lead.
Oh, Ernie is ready, I'll tell you what.
And he's looking right at Randy. He's ready to fight.
Well, that's what he is. Ernie is fighting out there. That's exactly what he's doing. That's a good analogy. Ernie is fighting. There's Ernie's Army. Remember Arnie's Army? We're in Pennsylvania, not too far from Latrobe. We've got Ernie's Army here in the Pittsburgh area.
Taking a lot of time. Been fined $100 twice. He doesn't care.
Oh, too soft.
Too soft, he said. Pretty much on target. Lynn Swan enjoying the action here.
No more chances, Ernie. No more chances to him.
With a spare conversion, we have an even match through 5.5 frames.
You can hear Ernie talking on that microphone he's wearing. Randy Pedersen can hear him also. He's standing right next to him. So everything Ernie says is really a lot for the benefit of Randy Pedersen.
Again, 10-pin, 7-pin, 10-pin. What does he do?
Well, it doesn't look like the ball has really got a lot of energy when it gets to the pins, Mike. In my opinion, it looks like maybe the ball he's using isn't making that good of flip on the back. Remember what John said about getting the ball to make that turn. It's not making a sharp turn, so it's hitting kind of weak.
John said the dip. It's not dipping enough, huh?
Not dipping enough. We'll take a look at it again. You can see where he's playing, right around between the third and fourth, but near the fourth arrow. But see, the ball is still spinning, still spinning. Now it's rolling, but it's late. It's behind the head pin. Watch the deflection. See where the ball ended up? Almost over by the 10 pin. So it doesn't have a lot of energy when it's getting to the pins.
Did you see that follow-through, though, in front of his face?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
That one was straighter. That follow-through was straighter. Ernie ready in the 7th frame. And a big one for the LPBT. It's the Hammered Ladies Touring Players Championship. That's tomorrow night, Thursday at the stroke of midnight. Be sure to stay tuned for that tomorrow night.
Well, Ernie in the lead for the first time in the match, only by 1 pin.
And he's got a strike to maintain that lead.
Was there any doubt? Not in Ernie's mind.
Not for him.
Not in Ernie's mind.
He's looking at the rack. He re-racked, by the way, on that right lane.
Yeah, that's the one he said. Look at the rack, remember?
Time, baby. Get this thing out there.
Keep it out there.
Remember last time he said he was a little soft with the speed here.
So he's thinking maintain that speed.
He's a perfectionist, Ernie Schlegel.
Well, he's throwing the left jab on the right lane. He's looking for the right cross right now.
Lots of speed here. Oh, boy, did that roll up well, huh?
I don't know. I think that was a body shot.
Can you hear what he's saying? He's saying, he's mine to the crowd. He's mine. And Randy Pedersen doesn't think so.
Well, Randy's got a strike on this lane, or it may be true.
Ernie's bowled just about as good as a player can bowl under the circumstances. Made 8 great shots.
3 doubles he has.
There's the answer.
Boy, he swung it a little bit more.
Had more on it, too. More back in.
1 pin, 2 frames. They love it here in Pittsburgh. Here's a replay.
See the ball break a little earlier, Mike? Picks up the roll a little heavier. Comes back solid in the pocket.
A little thankful acknowledgement there. 9th frame can take the lead back.
I think he's just trying to maintain his cool here in the 9th frame. This is a big shot.
And a perfect one.
The thing is, Ernie Schlegel finishes first, and if he gets them all, the match is over.
He locks him out. You know, we got a huge crowd, and I don't know what they paid to get in here, but every single person here has got more than his money's worth, or hers money's worth.
Well, here's a guy that's really trying to get all the money, Ernie Schlegel. Biggest shot of the match right here. How can he do it better than that? 52 years old, and he's running them out.
Well, you know, we had a senior earlier this year performed greatly with John Handigard. Oh,
they're holding hands.
Schlegel's family, his daughter's looking on.
His daughter in the red.
Leads by 1, can make it 11. Score tells the story.
We could still have a tie.
We don't have time for a tie. Ernie's seen to that.
What a great shot. What a great shot. But he does have the lead. It's up to Randy Pedersen to take another look at it.
Randy looks
Pedersen
pretty cool.
Does look cool. But this is the shot. Dead on the second arrow. You can see the ball roll up to the pocket.
Oh, and
just a solid 10.
Whistles around that 10. He's got to get himself back together and convert this spare. If he does, we've got an even match.
Spare strike makes Randy Pedersen strike to win.
Well, no doubt about the spare. Now the strike.
Make him work for it now.
Make him work for it. He's going to have to work for it, Ernie.
Ernie's special. He is so entertaining. I love to watch him bowl. I love to listen to him.
What do I know?
What do I know? He's got Randy talking to himself now. Randy's down there. He's talking to himself.
Ernie's just saying, I'm just a guy who leaves solid 10 pins. What do I know?
As the last one forces him. Come on.
You get a play-by-play from Ernie.
Well, we don't have to talk. Maybe we'll shut up here. Right over the second arrow.
What a great shot. Well, it's all up to Randy Pedersen. One ball. We'll know if we got a winner or a loser right here.
Well, there's the graphic. The strike is the big one.
Wasted no time at all.
A solid 8.
I don't believe it! I don't believe it! I don't believe it! Unbelievable! Yeah! For the old people, I am the greatest! Muhammad Ali.
Well, let's hope Ernie doesn't have any heart problems right now because he is flying.
Ernie Schlegel is your winner. We'll be back. Well, we've got to take a break right now. We'll be back to try and talk to him when we're running out of time. Stay with us to hear from the old guy right after this.
After we improved Plymouth Grand Voyager suspension system to make it even more car-like, we tested it with some very sophisticated, highly sensitive equipment. Where can you find the newest thing in a minivan? Second door on your right, Plymouth Grand Voyager, with America's only available driver's side sliding door. Only from the minivan store at your Chrysler and Plymouth dealer.
See your neighborly Chrysler and Plymouth dealers. They'll show you what's new.
Best selection of auto parts, as a rule, come to Rules, where we cater to the do-it-yourselfer.
As an authorized Key Parts auto store, Rules stocks most traditional and foreign parts, as well as parts for your light truck, performance vehicle, and accessories for anything automotive.
And right now, race fans can get racing T-shirts at Rules Automotive. They're available in every size from kids to adult, and they make great gifts.
As a rule, come the rules.
Rules Automotive, Mount Joy, where we cater to the do-it-yourselfer.
Alan, let me Gino Marchetti. There's the greatest quarterback that ever lived. John Unitas. Yeah, but Tarkington wasn't there. Man, this guy threw for 40,000 yards.
Whoa, Joe Montana.
He only throws 6-yard passes. Roger Staubach? Yeah, he was a great football player. I'll tell you, there was a guy that played with the Washington Redskins. And I don't remember his name. He was a great quarterback. Yeah, Sonny Jorgensen. Hell of a football player. Jorgensen, I don't know.
World Business Class from Northwest Airlines and our global partner KLM with more comfort, choice, and convenience. It's simply the best business to be in.
Some people just know how to fly, yeah.
The Bayer Brunswick Touring Players Championship is being brought to you by Bayer, a research-based company in healthcare, chemicals, and imaging technologies. By Brunswick, the #1 name in bowling worldwide. And by the Dremel Multi-Pro tool, it has the speed you need to power through hundreds of jobs. And to present the check for the old guy to Ernie Schlegel, Tom Herrick, Senior Vice President, Bayer Corporation.
Ernie, on behalf of Bayer Corporation, I'd like to congratulate you on winning the first Bayer Brunswick Touring Players Championship. It's been a great week of bowling and a terrific night. We look forward to having you back and the other touring professionals next year. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I'd like to thank Bear and Brunswick for this fine tournament. All the fans in Pittsburgh. And I need a half a beer right now to bring down my blood pressure.
And here's the beautiful trophy from Fred Florjanik, Vice President of Brunswick Recreation Center.
Ernie, congratulations on behalf of Brunswick and Bear for the Touring Players Championship Trophy. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I'll be glad to be coming back next year.
Well, we're going to have to wait till next year because we have to go right now for Earl Anthony. This is Mike Durbin saying so long from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. In 1996, the PBA is going to be back on ESPN, January 26th from Peoria for naturally the Peoria Open. Coming up next, it's the best of Roy Firestone, including Pete Rose, Joe Montana, Cal Ripken, and